name's Laura. I'm one half of the duo behind the magazine Olann and, the online magazine Olann and. Normally, I'm joined by my partner in crime on the magazine, Deirdre. But as many of you know that follow us, Deirdre is currently on maternity leave. She gave birth to baby Daisy, Daisy Joy, I think on the 17th of September. I'm pretty sure it was the 17th of September. So actually Daisy's a month old. A few days ago now. What are we, the 19th I think today? So Daisy was actually a month old 2 days ago. So today is Friday the 19th, I think. I'm pretty sure it's the 19th. Don't quote me on that. And I'm coming from Lismore in Ireland. Lismore in County Waterford. Lots of people know it because there's a castle here. So it's not my castle, I wish. So what do I need to tell you about? So Olann and, if you don't know, is an online fibre and craft magazine coming from Ireland. Even though I've got an English accent, I live in Ireland. And we've been doing it now for about, we're in our third year. Yeah, we're in our third year now, and we've just published the Harvest Moon issue about a week ago. That was our 14th issue. We're quarterly. So what else can I tell you? You can find us on all the social medias. On Facebook we're Olann and, on Twitter we're Olann and on Instagram we're Olann and Magazine. We also have a Ravelry group, and there's usually a bit of chatter going on in there. It's been a bit quiet. Hands up, I've been a bit busy, which I'll come to in a minute. But now it's the chat is starting again, and there's a good reason, although I do try and pop in every so often anyway. Okay, so if you're a new visitor, thank you for joining us, and I hope you like it. And this isn't normally it'll be the same kind of format, but as I say, normally there's two of us and there's probably quite a lot of laughter. I'll probably still laugh because I'm a bit bonkers. And one of the things that is a problem when you're filming by yourself is it's very hard to remember where the camera is, because you genuinely talk to yourself. So yeah, so I apologise. I'm probably looking a bit boss-eyed, although to be fair, it probably isn't as bad because I wear glasses. If you're a returning visitor, well, hello, how are you? It's been a while. I think that's all of the general housekeeping, people say. What I do need to tell you is that it's been 9 weeks. It's like confession. It's been 9 weeks since our last podcast, and there's a few reasons. The first, obviously, is that Dee was getting ready for the birth of Daisy, and the second reason was that unfortunately I had to say goodbye to not one but two of my dogs. Anyone that kind of keeps up with us will know that we're both dog lovers. Deirdre has 2 and I had 4. I live on a farm, so 4 isn't quite as outrageous as it sounds. And I had 2 older girls, a mother and a daughter, and I have two boys, 2 younger boys. I've got the boys are a Jack Russell and Tom, who's my latest acquisition, if you like. He's a rescue dog, and he's a cross between a border terrier and a beagle. But the older girls, I had a black Labrador, and I had her daughter, who was a cross. So I lost the daughter first of all, and then a couple of weeks later after that I lost her mum. So to be honest, I didn't really feel very much like working, and when I did get back to work, it had built up quite a lot, so I needed to concentrate on getting the magazine out and published, and as it was still a little bit late. So so I hope you forgive us. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm hoping this will get back into a routine. It's a bit strange doing it by myself. I have filmed the odd episode by myself, but actually doing it for a while is different. When I'm filming it by myself in the past, I've been talking about something I've been to, an event or something, and Deirdre hasn't been at the time, so it's easier to do it just me. But yeah, trying to do all of it by myself at the moment is a little bit difficult, so hopefully it won't be for long. So what do I need to tell you about? Well, because we haven't filmed for quite a long time, we haven't been able to do the things that we usually do. So usually we focus in every episode, we try and give over a bit of time to one of the designs that's in the current issue, and maybe discuss a couple of the things from the Olann and Loves features, maybe touch on some of the other bits and pieces in the magazine as well, go through the yarns, that kind of thing. So because we haven't done that, and because we only literally got to film one episode before before the break, if you like, from the last issue being our spring, our sunny summer days issue. I kind of think there's a little bit of catching up to do from that one, and I want to obviously tell you a bit about our current issue. So what I'm going to do is show you one thing from our last issue, one design from our last issue, and one design from this current issue. And I've got a new, I'm filming on a new phone, and I noticed the focus is going in and out, so please tell me if it's annoying you, and I can see if there's something I can do about it. I'm not quite sure what, but okay, so let's have a look at sorry, let me move my notes. Let's just have a look at one of the designs from the last month. We've already shown you the Madeline shawl from the last issue, from the Sunny Summer Days issue, and we actually have another design by the same designer, by Aisling Doonan. So that's the Victoria shawl in this issue, and I'll talk about that maybe in a future episode. But for now, I wanted to show you the Modulations mitts. So I'm hoping they focus in okay. Yeah, I think so. So these have been, let me show you one like this. These have been designed for us by the lady behind RiverKnits yarns in the UK, and the lady is called Beci Pamely Bast. Hold it, actually, I'll hold one up, it's easier. Try and focus a bit more. And the Modulations mitts are the second design that we featured from Beci. Beci also designed the Modulations Cow, which I have here in a different colourway. I'm focusing. No, it's not having it, is it? Oh, I don't like this new one. Oh, well, there we go. Okay, it's a bit creased. So this cowl is this was the first design that Beci gave us, and both designs have been made using Beci's yarn. I'm pretty sure, oh, it's her BFL 4-ply minis that we've used, and they are 20 grams, and there's 80 meters per mini skein. These have taken, they've actually both taken 6 different shades. And I think, if I remember rightly, the colours are, now I know one of these is wrong. So there's a sherbet turquoise, unicorn tomato, jewel crimson, brilliant crimson, and sherbet gold. And then I can't remember what the last one is. If I can find it, I'll pop it along the bottom here. And they are made using the technique mosaic knitting, which, I mean, they look like it's kind of stranded colour work, and actually when you look inside them, excuse the knots and the ends aren't sewn in. I'll show you this way, but like there are still floats. They're not floats in the strictest sense of the word, because when you do mosaic knitting, you are literally only using one shade per line. So if you look very closely, if the camera will focus in, so if you were to count the rows here where this burgundy is, there's actually 6 rows of knitting, but if you look here, there's only 4, and that's because when you're knitting with the burgundy here, you're slipping the stitch from below, hence the reason that you're only working with one colour per row. And it's a really effective technique. It's lovely and easy, and these both the cowl and the mitts were really intuitive, and I particularly like the fact that they go up on your hand quite a lot. They go up on your fingers because obviously, I mean, they're fingerless, but you still want to keep your fingers warm. So, and obviously they're adjustable. The design came in 2 sizes. It was a medium and a large, I want to say, and these are the medium. And I blocked them. I actually rolled up a towel, and then I put cling film around the towel, and I popped the sausage into the mitt to try and make sure that the knitting sat nice and flat, because obviously with mosaic knitting, with your slipping the stitches, there is a little bit of like a pucker, I suppose, a pucker. So you can find the design for the Modulations mitts in the Sunny Summer Days issue, which is, if you go on to the main page on our website, which is where you'll find the latest issue, on the left hand side there's back issues, and you want to go on to 2018, and there's front covers, and you'll see the mitts on the front cover. The Modulation mitts are in the Sunny Summer Days, and the Modulations cowl is in the Spring Awakenings issue, and both are free designs on the website. Sorry, changed my teeth. Right, I'm going to get a drink of elderflower, excuse me. That's better. Okay, so then the second design that I wanted to show you is one from our current issue, from our Harvest Moon issue. And it's actually the crochet design that we're featuring. We have 4 knitting patterns in our latest issue and 1 crochet design. And the reason I want to show you the crochet design is because we're going to have a crochet-along, which will be starting on the 27th of October, I think. Let me just check. Yep, Saturday the 27th of October. The crochet design is called the, I want to say the Ballymoney Blanket, because it's Bally and then money, but maybe it's Ballymoney or Ballymooney. Really sorry. I'm fluent in knitting, but I'm not fluent in English. So I'll show you these two. I'm going to insert a picture of the blanket here because it's a blanket and it's a bit difficult to show you. So I'll insert one here now. Hopefully that's worked. And you'll have seen that the blanket is made up of motifs. So it's actually 2 motifs. And this one here is the star motif. And this one here is the circle motif. And it's just those 2 motifs. You make 20 of those, so 10 of each, and then you join them. I love this here actually. And once they're joined, you crochet all the way around it with doubles in the UK and trebles in America, I think. Crochet is not my forte. And then it has this lovely picot edge around the outside. So as I've just said, crochet is not my forte, and I'm kind of holding down the fort at the moment. So designer, the wonderful Melanie Thomassian, aka We Yarn. I can say We Yarn, that's much easier. So Melanie has very kindly offered to help out with the crochet-along. Not only that, the lady that's helping out via the Constant Knitter, because Rosemary from the Constant Knitter is getting involved. She actually sells the yarn that this is made in, and she's getting involved, and she's got a discount set up for people that are taking part that live in Ireland and close by and want to get yarn from her. Oh my god, what's the other lady's name? I'll have to put it down here, but she's going to be helping with the crochet-along as well. How bad is that? I'm so bad. So because I'm going to try my hardest to get involved, but it's probably not going to work very well because I don't do crochet very much. So the yarn that we've used is the Katia Basic Merino, and the Katia Basic Merino first and foremost comes in 50 shades, 50 different shades, so there's definitely something for everyone there. It is the 50 grams is 120 meters. There are the fibre content is 52% merino superwash, 48% acrylic. The shade that we used for the blanket, for the sample that we've got, is actually, it's called Grey 12, just Grey 12. And this shade is shade 41. This lovely mustard is a shade 41. This sample was wonderfully made by a good friend Goosey Lucy, who is like crochet extraordinaire, good fibre friend and lifesaver in this case. So, and she assures me that this is beginner friendly, and I have to say, despite the fact that I don't really crochet very much, I can crochet. Anyone that's seen my Instagram feed or my Ravelry projects will see the odd crochet project up here every so often. But I know I can make this. I've read the pattern, and I've had a good look through it, and I definitely could make these myself. My family would think it was hilarious because I'd be talking to myself while I do it, because I have to be like chain 1, 2, 3, treble 1, 2, 3. So it would get done. So yeah, so if you're a newbie to crochet, you can definitely have a go at making this. Each of these motifs, let's find one in the center so that you can see a bit better. Hopefully that's worked. I'm behind it so I can't see. Yeah. So each of these motifs is approximately 7 inches, which is 18 centimeters. So you could make it bigger if you wanted to, or you could make it smaller, maybe more crib or pram or car seat size. And according to Lucy, you could probably knot one of these up, probably a couple of these in an evening if you wanted to, but definitely one an evening. So I think the Crochet-a-Long, we've given 6 weeks, I think. In my head I want to say 6 weeks, but I could be wrong. I said it's starting on the 27th of October. It's running until December the 8th, so you should have plenty of time to get one made, and all sizes will be acceptable. I'm not sure a doll's blanket would be acceptable, but if it was a crib or a car seat or a pram, I think that would be acceptable as well. We've opened a thread on Ravelry, a chatter thread on Ravelry, and about a week or so after the Crochet-a-Long starts, I'll open a finished objects thread as well. And if I'm feeling brave, I might actually manage a square. I would really like to make it, because my grandson would look wonderful wrapped in it. My grandson is due on New Year's Day. More about that in a minute. So yeah, so please pop along and have a look, and let us know your thoughts. It's lovely. And as I say, Melanie will be there supporting, and the other lady. Oh my god, I'm so bad. I can see it written down, but I'm talking to 2 people at the moment who have similar names, and I don't want to say the wrong one. So and if you wanted to check out the other designs that Melanie's done, she's on Instagram as We Yarn, she's on Facebook as We Yarn, and she has an Etsy shop which is We Yarn Canada. She's recently designed a sweater, like an open tie back sweater, which is really, really nice. It's called the Hillsborough sweater, and there's a picture of Melanie modeling it on her Instagram feed. She's wearing it, I think it's red. Definitely go and check it out, it's very different. Go and have a look. So that's the 2 designs I wanted to tell you about, the Modulations mitts and the Ballymoney Blanket. Ballymoney Blanket. It's a Ballymoney Blanket. If you're from London, it's a Ballymoney Blanket. So that's the two designs. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about was Olann and Loves. And again, I think I'll do one from the last issue and one from our current issue, if that's okay. So the one that I wanted to show you from our last issue was some stitch markers from the Heather Honey store. I'm just looking here because I have 2 lots of them. So Heather Honey store, let me read my notes, is a new venture for Sonia, who as far back as she can remember has loved crafting. She became hooked on knitting after honeymooning, should I say, in Iceland, and came back completely obsessed by knitting. She also got a passion for, I suppose, high-end knitting notions and needles, and then went looking for stitch markers that she wanted to use and couldn't find any that were suitable, so she started making them. So let me show you these first. Hold on, I'll pop this back on. So Sonia wants you to think about, I suppose she thinks about her stitch markers in terms of something pretty and lovely and cute, and wants them to be almost like jewelry, I suppose, something that maybe you collect and what have you. So everything about them, from the stitch markers to the packaging, she thinks about. So everything is like, it's a lovely little gift, it's a lovely little surprise. So this little box here, so let's open this little box here, and in this little box there's these gorgeous, they're not too bad, are they? So they come in sets, and this is a set of 4, and I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, it is. No, it's not. The camera's on this side, Laura. It's not really. Oh, there a little bit. So they're hexagons. Kind of cool hexagons. I think so. And then in this one here, which is, look at these. Aren't these cool? So now let me just see. So in the Heather Honey store Etsy shop, the prices start at €6 for a set of 4 markers plus shipping. And Sonia has also given a special treat to Olann and readers, or Olann and podcast viewers. And the coupon code is Olann and, all capital letters, all one word. And if you use that when you're checking out, you'll receive a 10% discount on purchases until the end of 2018. But you can go along to the Sunny Summer Days issue and check out everything that we wrote about Sonia and her beautiful stitch markers. I believe that that's the first product that Sonia is making and is putting in her shop, but she's got some other ideas for things in the pipeline. The second item that I want to show you is actually from our latest issue, from the Harvest Moon issue, and it's an aromatherapy necklace from Stink Design. So Stink Design is Ziri. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So Ziri makes aromatherapy necklaces which are ingenious. I'm always on the lookout for bits and pieces that are a little bit different, and I personally tend to burn aromatherapy oils pretty much every day. For a while there over the summer I was mad into lavender, and at the moment I'm mad into bergamot with a little bit of bay. I live in a farmhouse. It's a big old damp farmhouse. I had 4 dogs. I still have 2 dogs, and I'm a bit fond of spicy food. So yeah, cooking smells, dog smells, damp farmhouse smells, and they're spreading at the moment. So yeah, nasty smells. So I'm always on the lookout for different things to do with essential oils and natural smells. I don't use kind of canister air fresheners and things like that. I don't know, haven't used them for years. I always associate them with some horror story I heard about them changing hormones in boys and stuff like that. So now I never use them. I don't think I ever have. So, and I'm not one, I like my perfume, but I'm not one for kind of chemical smells anyway. You know, Christmas and everything is covered in cinnamon, which is great if you love cinnamon, but it has a real fake cinnamony smell. So it's like you walk into a shop now at Christmas as all the Christmas things are in there, and it's like, oh my god, it smells so strong. So let me get back to these necklaces. So this is Stink Design's card. Hello. Well, this is no good. I don't like this. Is that focused? It's no good asking the short-sighted person if it's focused. Let's try this one. No. Oh, this is bloody useless. Okay. So, the necklace comes in, is packaged really well, in this little pouch. And when you open up the pouch, you get a necklace. I think there are 5 designs. Did I write myself a note of that? I didn't write myself a note of how many designs there are currently, but I think there's 5. And so this is what one of the necklaces looks like. And there are two different colours for the outside. One is this kind of grey graphite look, and then another one is a white kind of porcelain, I think. And you can change the colour of the felt ball, and it's the felt ball that carries the essential oil. So this little sample of essential oil, you can specify what essential oil you'd prefer, and you can obviously change the colour up. Ziri offers a bespoke service for the different felt balls, and the idea is that you put a few drops of the essential oil on the felt ball and you wear it. And if, like me, if you're wondering if essential oil would stain your clothes, true essential oil, so proper 100% essential oil that hasn't been mixed with a carrier oil, won't stain your clothes. So and I think this one is orange. I have a feeling this one is orange. Hold on. Yeah, this one's definitely orange. But supposing I wanted to use the orange one day, but then the next day I fancied something like lavender, you can change the felt ball. So it's advisable not to use the same felt ball, because obviously the scent would change. It would end up being a little bit orange and a little bit lavender, which is good. They work well together, actually, those two. But you can get different felt balls. Ziri also makes one specifically. It's a daisy. And it's kind of smaller, and she's aimed that one, I suppose, at children or lovers of daisies. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see how this works myself. I think I might actually start using this one, and then I can come back and let you know how I find it. they have recently, Ziri has recently started to make wardrobe fresheners. So they're like a bell shape, and then the felt ball goes underneath, and then you can hang that in your wardrobe. So they actually look really, really good. Especially, I imagine, if you use lavender, because moths don't like lavender supposedly. So I imagine if you use lavender, it might actually help keep the moths at bay. But yeah, check them out. So Stink Designer on Instagram. Their website is stinkdesign.com. These necklaces start at €25 plus shipping. They're all packaged in their reusable felt pouch, and as I say, you can also purchase different felt balls. They're on Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, definitely pop over and have a look. There's a really good page of frequently asked questions as well that'll pretty much answer anything that you're not sure about. And she definitely has some recommendations there for different oils that you can try, and suggests companies that sell pure essential oils. So check them out. So that's two things. So one from, so this is in the Harvest Moon issue, the current issue. So I think that's everything. I'm gonna have another glug of elderflower. It's my thing at the moment. I've gone crazy on the elderflower cordial, which is no good considering I didn't make any and I'm surrounded by elderflower trees. Never mind, costing a fortune at the moment in that stuff. So what can I tell you? What else can I tell you? So weather report from Ireland today, because we're fascinated by the weather over here, is it's a little overcast and cloudy. I was hoping to try and film this yesterday, so I actually took a photo yesterday and it was glorious. So I might insert that here now. And if you look really closely on the photo, you'll see that they're muck spreading, as I just said, and it's not nice. And it was okay whilst it was over there. So in my office, I have a window kind of behind the camera and a window to the side of the camera, and it was okay while they were up the top field yesterday. That was fine. They're currently in the field right next to the house, so it's not nice. It's not nice. And as these things go, I've got loads of washing, but you can't hang it out there because it will kind of, the smell will kind of permeate it. So never mind. So yes, it's October. It's unseasonably warm, but that's good, I suppose, because after the terrible winter and the really hot summer, I'd say the farmers probably could do with a little bit of extra breathing space at the end of the year. I'm trying to think what else is going on. We're gearing up for Halloween over here. We don't do Guy Fawkes over here, and I'm actually going to be in the UK for Guy Fawkes, for bonfire night, and I'm really looking forward to going to see the fireworks. Having grown up in the UK, and my kids, I had my kids over there. We moved over here when my youngest was 5, so we've always done bonfire night, and I'm so excited that I get to go to bonfire night. I asked my husband if I could have sparklers. But I'll have a grandchild soon, and it'll all be valid then. I can do it then. I'm still going to get sparklers. You know I'm still going to get sparklers. We're going to the fireworks in Hove. And apparently pick and mix is quite expensive there, so we won't be having any pick and mix there. I wasn't interested in the pick and mix. I wanted to know about jacket potatoes and the hot dogs. Not that I can eat them because I'm a vegetarian, but I can sniff them, I can smell them. So I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll be all excited. Be great. I'll have my sparklers. I'll be fine. So because I'm having a grandson and Deirdre's had a daughter, it's all babies. There's babies everywhere, and everything is baby knitting. So let me show you. So I've got a couple of Tadars which are baby related, and they're safe to show you because I'll be seeing Daisy and Deirdre later. Deirdre and Daisy. Deirdre's my friend. So I have made, because I was doing all of the knitting for the magazine, I didn't really have much chance to do baby knitting, which is really unfortunate, but I did make a baby vertebrae. I don't have the ball band for this. This is, oh, it's a Rowan yarn, and I got Dina to pick it up for me in Brighton, and she sent it over. Oh my word, what was it called? It's yak. It's a yak blend. I think it might actually be called Rowan Yak or something. I'll put the name here. And it's in this lovely vintage pink. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if it'll focus on. But it's kind of like grey and pink fibre. And there's a little bit of a sheen. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. So in some places it's a little bit darker. When you hold it out. Now I'm hoping this will fit Daisy, because Daisy is a month old, as I've said, and it wasn't blocked when I went to see her after she was born, so I'm hoping it fits. Now I have got another one made ready to go, but I just haven't sewn in the ends and blocked that as well, and that's the next size up. So if all else fails, the idea was that she had two, but if all else fails she'll definitely have one. And then the other evening I was looking for, I've been doing my husband's accounts. So I got the magazine out, so I spent all that time on the computer, and then I've been doing my husband's accounts. And I've been having problems because we're using a new online software and I don't have very good broadband here. So I keep losing hours of work. It's rather frustrating. So I'd had a really bad day and I was getting quite frustrated with the computer, and I was looking at baby patterns, as you do, because I wanted that kind of quick hit of a finished object. And I happened to find this pattern on the Drops website for a little hat called, I think it's called Milan. I'll put all the information will be in the podcast notes, which I'll upload onto Ravelry. And this little hat, there was a little baby wearing this hat with a big kind of dummy soother in his mouth, and I was like, oh, I have to make that. I have that yarn, but I only have it in pink. So this is a little hat. Colour's kind of blowing out a little bit. Maybe a bit better like that. It's like a proper rosy pink colour. And it's knitted in the Drops Air. And isn't it lovely? It kind of makes me think of a bit of a duck. But it looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely beautiful on the baby. And so I've knit it in pink for Daisy. And I've ordered blue and grey, let's be honest. I had to order some knitting needles. So I was like, aha, how can I make up the money to get the free postage? Well, I'll just order a ball of blue and a ball of grey, and those will be going for, touch wood, my grandson. So, because you can never have too many hats. And whilst we're talking about finished objects, this isn't one of my finished objects, but I'll be giving this to Deirdre today, so it's safe to show you. So I'm going to hide behind it at the moment. Hopefully that's worked. Oh, it's a shame because the colours don't look quite as lovely as they... Oh, that's not so bad. So this is the Chevron Blanket. I'm trying to think who this is made by. I'll write it down here. Who designed this? And my daughter has made this. My daughter Dina, she's made this for Daisy. This is her welcome baby present, and she's used Rico Merino Aran to do this. Isn't it lovely? I think it's gorgeous. I'd say Deirdre is lucky that she had a girl. Or should I say, we knew she was having a girl. I'd say Deirdre is lucky that Dina found out that she was having a boy. Because I don't know if Deirdre would have ended up getting this. It's gorgeous. So I'm taking this along today. And I've actually got another gift that another knitting friend sent me to take along to her. So it'll be all the presents today. So that's nice. They're going to Deirdre today. That's my only to-dahs that I have to show you. Let me just have a look of this. Oh, I have a wee hat to have it, and I've just realised I haven't brought it out. Well, that's daft of me. I'll show you it the next time. In we had to have it, so there's one that isn't there. What I did want to show you was this 2019 calendar. And this has been produced by Fran Rushworth, who is Wool Tribulations. And this is the 2019. Fran had done one for the 2017, which I bought. And then she didn't do one for 2018, and she got in contact to say that she was doing one for 2019. And I was like, oh, well, definitely put me down then if that's the case. And Fran is big into her natural dyeing. Actually, her website, her blog, is such a laugh. We reviewed it in one of our issues, a couple of issues back. She has a knitted sheep. Oh my word, what's her name? But she appears all the time. I can't think what her name is. I'll try and put that down here as well. Of course, a lot of things to remember to put down. But yeah, Fran is wonderful. She spins, she dyes, she knits. I think she weaves, like anything and everything. And she's very generous with sharing her knowledge. So she's produced this calendar, and the idea is that every month Fran has suggested a different, I don't want to give too much of it away, so we'll have a look at January. January is onion skins. So every month Fran has given you some information about how you can dye with onion skins, or with whichever dye stuff it is, and she gives you some samples of different things that she's dyed with them. And the idea is that every month there is something to do in your natural dye calendar. So it could be a specific vegetable or plant that she's suggesting that you dye with. What have we got here? Let me go through it. So we've got onions, silver birch bark, daffodils, dandelions. A dandelion, sorry. I'm obsessed by Ice Age. There's leaf hammer prints and tree leaf dyes. There's solar jars, indigo dyes, dye plant contact prints, berry dyes, iron blanket prints, madder and oak prints, and ivy leaf dye. And it's all set out. It's a really nice calendar. It's a sturdy calendar. It's not like a cheap paper calendar, and Fran's put a lot of time and a lot of thought into it. And let me just see, I want to make sure I give you the right information. So her website is wooltribulations.com, and it's available from the website. The price will be £10 because Fran is in the UK, £10 including postage and packaging within the UK, and £13.50, sorry, 13, could be 13 euros, I think it's probably £13.50 to Europe. So please do go and check her out. I'll pop the information, as I say, in the podcast notes. Well worth it if you're interested in a little bit of dyeing. Something great to do with the kids as well, because they can follow the calendar with you. It's kind of cool. One of my dogs was just shaking there, if you heard it. So that's that. So, oh yes, okay. So the other thing, because it's been a while, and I'm just trying to think. I had my birthday was before we recorded, a little while before we recorded, but things were kind of dribbling after, and actually I'm still owed one birthday present, possibly eldest son. Actually, to be fair, he has said he'd get me something that I wanted, and I just haven't sent him the link. So, and talking of him though, because he's lovely, he turned up one weekend with a, I just saw this and thought you might like it. How bad? So maybe I should just use this for my birthday present. I mean, that's fine. To be fair, I did think this was my birthday present when he turned up with it, but he said no, it was just a because it was around the dogs. So I think that's probably what it was. So it's a skein of yarn from Townhouse Yarns, which is the indie dyer based up in This Is Knit. She's actually, oh, see, my brain isn't working at all. Nothing new there. The people that own This Is Knit is a mum and daughter, and I can't think of either of their names. Jackie. Nope, can't think of the other name. But this, I want to say Laura, but that can't think. But this is the other member of the family. No, forget it. Just forget the names. And she's an indie dyer. And this is on the Camden Tweed base, which is 85% superwash merino, 15% Donegal nep. And it's 100 grams, 400 meters. And this colorway is called Shook. And there's all these lovely turquoises, turquoise greens and yellows, and then these really vibrant oranges. There's even a little bit of purple there. Yeah, lovely. So and blues. So I have a feeling this might become a Paperium for the grandson. I'm not sure, possibly. And the grandson is the theme of most of my knitting at the moment. So let me show you. So in It'll Be Lovely When It's Finished, I have a couple of things to show you. So the first thing I'll show you is I'm going to be, I did sorry for bending down, I apologise. So I did a blog post on my blog, which is Confessions of a Fibre Strumpet. So it's Left Foot Daisy Confessions of a Fibre Strumpet, and you'll find it at fibrestrumpet.com if you're interested. So I did a blog post on that a little while ago about the things that I'd been kind of stalking, the patterns I'd been stalking to knit for him. And if you'd seen it, most of them were colour work. I've just dropped something again, I apologise. Oops. So most of the projects are colour work, which is great, that's absolutely fine. But I didn't, and colour work you need to concentrate on. And if I'm just kind of sitting in the cinema or sitting at knitting group or chatting to friends, I don't tend to not have knitting in my hands, and I wanted something that was kind of basic to do him. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get some 100% acrylic and knit a blanket that's just going to fly up, and it can go in the washing machine, it can be dragged through the mud, it won't matter, it can be zipped up on, whatever. Babies are messy. So all I'm doing is just a basic slip stitch. So it's garter stitch with a basic slip stitch. Oh, it's a bit of fluff on it. And I've picked these colours. I went and got yarn because I didn't have these colours. And I'm just going to do blocks. And then I think the idea is that I'll do, the idea that I have in my head is that I'll do an apply dye cord. So at the moment I've got a provisional cast on. And it's just like just something to throw over him when he's in the pram or when he's in the car seat or something. That isn't too warm, but it's just enough to keep the chill off. And it's not precious. And like I say, it doesn't matter what it's dragged through, it's not a problem. Other knitting, actually no, what I'll do is I'll show you, I'll show you the knitting first, it'd be easier. I have to bend down again. Oh, right, okay, because I didn't have enough room on my table. So one of the projects that I have managed to get some work done on, and I put it on my Instagram post beginning of the week, I think, is this little cardigan called Conifer, which is a lovely little cardigan. I haven't got one of the labels from my yarn. I think the yarn's from Holst Garn, but I'm going to do a blog post on it, and I'll obviously tell you some more about it nearer the finishing time. So it's ready for me to cast off now. You had to do a 2-colour rib, which I've done, so now I must cast off, but I need to pull out a bigger needle to do that. I tend to cast off quite tightly. So having done quite a bit of colour work now, quite a bit, I've knitted a jumper, I've knitted the hats for the magazine, which we'll talk about next time, and I've done a couple of jumpers now actually. So having done quite a bit of colour work, I think that's okay to say that, my colour work is improving hugely, but also this is the first colour work project that I've knitted backwards and forwards. And having done all of the other colour work in the round, oh my word, it wasn't the best thing to do backwards and forwards, because trying to keep the tension was a little bit difficult, and in places my floats could probably be a little tidier. This yarn blooms though quite a lot once it's washed. We reviewed this in the Spring Awakenings issue. It is Holst Garn, I'm sure it's Holst Garn, and it has quite a lot of spinning oil on it. So some people think it's actually cotton when they first see it, but when you wash it, the spinning oil comes off and it blooms beautifully, and it becomes really soft, and it fills in all the gaps, so it's ideal for colour work. And hopefully you'll get to see that, I'd say, pretty soon. I'm going to cast this off later on today, once I've done a certain amount of the accounts, and then I'm hoping to get my needles into one of those sleeves and get started on those sleeves, because I have quite a lot of knitting to get through, because that baby's not going to end up with no knitted jumpers at this rate. That baby will end up with no knitted jumpers at this rate, and that won't do, will it? So so more about that. I'll pop all the details for it on the notes. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was that I am a member of the Hand Weavers Guild of Cork, which meets every month, and they're a lovely bunch of ladies, myself included, and we tend to try and do something a little bit different every meeting if we can, if we have time. We have a dyeing day and things like that. I've spoken about it in the past, and we actually have a new blog if you'd like to go over and check it out. It's handweaversguildcork.ie. So in our last meeting, we actually due to meet tomorrow, funnily enough, but in our last meeting we did pin weaving, and it's a gorgeous technique. Let me show you. And it's very unusual. Can you see? So you basically work on this board, which is just a couple of sheets of cardboard, and it's been covered. Maureen, one of the guild members, she made these up for us, which was lovely. Thanks, Maureen. And you're making your warp with these pins. The warp is running parallel through these pins, and then you weave in. But the idea is, it's very different to tapestry weaving, because normally tapestry weaving you start at the bottom and you work up. And you might have areas where you have gone up more than in other areas while you're filling in colours, but unusually with pin weaving you can start anywhere you like, and the idea is that you manipulate your threads, your weft, to make these unusual kind of curves and slopes. And I'm just using knitting yarn, so these are all different knitting yarns. For some reason I decided I was going to use 4-ply and fine yarn, which would have been much more sensible to use thicker yarn, like a few of my friends did. They're probably all done. I imagine tomorrow when I get to the meeting they'll be all done, and I'm not. I have done a little bit more since the meeting, but it takes quite a while. This is probably about 3.5–4 hours work here. So note to self, use chunky yarn next time, but it's good fun and it's a little bit different, so I might try and get a little bit more of that done over the weekend. Blues. Typical me, blues. I think that's everything I need to tell you for now. I have fluff on my lips, sorry. Hopefully I haven't rambled on for too long. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to say. Oh yeah, don't forget about the Crochet-a-Long. Please come and join us. It should be good fun. We've got quite a few prizes already lined up. We have some yarn, we have a project bag, I think there's some stitch markers. There'll probably be some designs, and I'm pretty sure there's a book or two. So pop along and come and join in. There's even if you want to just come and chat in the chatter thread and kind of spur people on, please do. What else is going on? We have we have quite a few giveaways in the pipeline coming up. We've got quite a few blog posts that are related to giveaways. We've been sent some lovely bits and pieces, and it would be just nice to share that with everyone. I can hear the spread of the tractor, so I'm wondering if you can hear it. So sorry if the rumbling is in the background. I shall love you and leave you before it gets too bad. And if I can, I'll pop a photo of baby Daisy here for you to see. Hopefully I'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye bye.